Taking a break from the Yakuza yapping, back to normal on Tuesday. So apparently the black guy wasn't a samurai. That being said, I keep hearing the same complaint about the music being hip-hop influenced, which, quality aside, we'll get to that. Why is this in and of itself an issue? If we're gonna take Ubisoft in good faith for just a second, I know it's hard to do. Apparently, this guy has been lying in English about the details of and evidence for Yasuke's history. But is that really Ubisoft's problem? Not really. If we're gonna take Ubisoft in good faith, this guy scammed them. They got scammed, which sucks for them, I guess, and chances are, even if they weren't scammed in this way, doesn't necessarily mean that the game would have been good. But would this have been a big issue? Oh, Yasuke was African, not black? Yeah, no shit, it's feudal Japan. There was no America, and even if there was, there still weren't African Americans. You know what there were? There were...
nigger.
Do you even know what African music sounds like? Okay, moving on. Where were the complaints about the music doesn't match the time period when Samurai Champloo dropped? Yeah, Samurai Champloo, one of the greatest pieces of episodic media to exist, that is backed by this. Are you all kidding me? But that was different. It was Nujabes. So then it's not an issue, it's hip-hop influenced. It's the actual quality of the music and its incorporation. Yeah, that's fair. This isn't very good.
Not while I have breath in my lungs and a blade in my hand.
Maybe it gets better? The historical revisionism arguments are valid, no real substantive issue with those. It's kind of hard to argue with his own words. He literally contradicts what he says in English when he speaks Japanese. I mean, I'm just glad that he's not black so I don't feel embarrassed twice. But someone in the comments explain why the music is actually a bad choice if the developers were not bad actors, but were tricked by this guy who is literally a history professor in Japan right now, of Japanese history or something. If you watch to the end, personally, I don't care all that much about this. Assassin's Creed fell off a long time ago in my opinion. I think the real issue is something that his university needs to deal with. He's been doing this for nearly a decade, so I don't know. Ubisoft obviously takes some blame here, but I imagine it went something more like, oh, let's use this ambiguous character who might have been a samurai but no one really knows, and then this guy got word of it and started working his grift. Like, would it be as big of an issue if Ubisoft didn't harp on the realism of this game? I imagine they intended to do the same historical fiction that they've always done, but it just so happens that there's a guy who made a career out of writing historical fiction about the same guy and then telling everyone it's real. Like, obviously, Ubisoft probably should have done more work to find out if this was really the truth, but as you can see, he's an actual professor. He's got the credentials. Why would you question it really more than that? And that's not to make excuses for them. Obviously, they should have. But honestly, I think it's a bigger problem that he's been allowed to do this for years and is still teaching history in a university. Ubisoft is a victim in this whole situation. So whether or not you like the music, whether or not you like the concept, whether or not you like Ubisoft, they got scammed. Because whether or not he was a samurai, we know that Yasuke was a real person. And so why would they not take the advantage of being able to use a real person and then color his history? It seems to me like they would have started from there with the understanding that he wasn't necessarily an actual samurai. No one was saying anything about this when the Netflix show came out, so I'm having a little bit of trouble understanding why everyone is so upset about this. This guy's been around for a decade. Now that Yusuke's in an Assassin's Creed game, now everybody recognizes that this guy's been lying the whole time, and now it's like a whole foreign policy international incident. This is crazy. Anyway, I'll see you guys Tuesday. Bye.
Hold it. The next man makes a move, the nigger gets it.
Hold it, man. He's not bluffing.